Welcome back to episode 112. What it is, 112, you know what I'm saying? The SCP 112 is someone you don't want to mess with. If you know, you know. But you know what it is, we're back again, podcast where we tell you all the gaming tidbits and what's been going on in the world. You know, we give you the weekly patch notes, if you understand. Yeah. So with me, I got Maxwell. What is good, Max?
I'm tired as flush, boy.
Anchor. And Kojizi, what's good with you, bro?
Pain.
What's insert pain quotes. Oh, this is gonna be so fun to edit. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, welcome guys, and welcome to you guys, the listeners, you know what I'm saying? Before we get into the crazy ish that's been going on in the past week, does anyone have any announcements or admin they want to do?
Yeah. Give me a second.
All right, from my side, check it, y'all. I've always had like my stance in terms of Star Wars. You know, I like lightsabers. I like, you know, the Force. I don't really do well with like just guns and pew pew and all this type of ish. But yo, gave the Mandalorian a chance for like the 5th time, and it's aight. I'm not gonna lie, it's aight. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to offer. Anyways, let's get started with the gaming news. Max, take it away, bro.
Alrighty. So, just two simple things that have popped up that grabbed my attention this week. The first one starts off with we're talking about the Switch 2. So Digital Foundry ran some tests on the Switch 2 and they found that the LCD screen for the Switch 2 apparently is worse than the original Switch. And it's worse in the sense of the screen's response time, refresh rate, and quality, things like that. Like, I don't fully understand it as somebody who's never really paid that much attention to the Switch, but I am genuinely surprised that this has caused an amount of uproar. So initially, Digital Foundry got a little bit of backlash for their discovery, where some people are like, you know, obviously whenever news comes out of something, whether it's Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, whatever, there will always be people on both sides of the camp. Some people pointing out things, other people trying to defend. So Digital Foundry got a bit of backlash. Then other people started running their own tests and discovering the same thing and discovering that it's actually worse than what Digital Foundry showed, and that as Digital Foundry continued with their test, they also started to see, with their stress test, they also started to see that the performance of the Switch 2 screen is much worse. Me, I'm just jumping in to say, is anyone really surprised? I personally stopped, how would I describe this? I personally stopped being surprised by Nintendo's quality when I saw how much it cost them to create games, where for me, when I saw the cost of that, it was, I think, last year, where it showed that, you know, if Sony is making a game, it costs them anywhere between 100 million upwards for a AAA game, whereas for Nintendo's top tier games, it cost them less than $50 million. So Nintendo has always been about, let's use as little cash possible in order to maximize profit. That's the first factor. The second factor, when the Switch 2 was announced, we already knew that it was using an LCD screen, where everybody was complaining about, it's the Switch 2. These guys still haven't upgraded the screen. The PSP, how old is that? And has had a better screen, la-di-da. So I just find it funny that people are being surprised, shocked, or upset with Nintendo, and it's just like, nah, dog, That's what you put yourself up for when you're purchasing Nintendo stuff. Nintendo, you're not buying top tier quality stuff. You're buying an experience. Same way Apple markets themselves. They are not buying a top tier quality thing. You're buying an experience. You're paying a premium for an experience, not for quality.
Exactly.
So yeah. So people should stop getting upset about that stuff. This is part of the reason why I don't bother with Nintendo. I don't bother with Apple. I'm more a quality person than an experienced person. I don't think you really need much for an experience. Your imagination, your standards are what will help with an experience, but quality is a whole different issue. And then moving on to the second thing. So somehow, some way, Sega leaked their own sales charts. Wait, I say somehow, some way, but I'm recalling how it happened. So Sega had a whole investors conference thingy, and they somehow accidentally leaked the sales numbers for some of their most popular games. Games like Persona, Sonic, or I should say not games, franchises. Franchises like Sonic, Persona, the new one, Metaphor, Like a Dragon, and there was a whole other one. But it was about 7 or 13 different games they showed there, and it was quite interesting to see it because it gave an idea specifically how Sega's games are performing, and specifically how RPGs in general perform. Where I tie this back to Final Fantasy. A lot of RPG fans have complained about how Final Fantasy isn't traditional RPG and it's more action oriented and stuff like that, where people have tried to defend it, saying that, yeah, obviously it's more action oriented because they're trying to find a broader fan base and all of this different stuff. And then on top of which, when Final Fantasy 16 sold 3 million copies in like 3 days or something like that, and then Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth sold like 7 million copies or something like that in a week or different stuff to that, and that stuff was exclusive, so that was only to the PlayStation. And then Square came out saying that sales were disappointing, and then people were like, what the flip do you mean sales were disappointed? So this adds context to that, where RPGs nowadays are a tough sell, first of all. And then second of all, there's also the matter of fact that Square probably has unrealistic expectations, and also the amount of costs that goes into a Final Fantasy brings into question. So if I give you some of the numbers, Persona 5 Royale, with all the hubbub and craze over it, Kojo, did you see the leak numbers?
I remind me.
All right, so Persona 5 Royale, or I should just say the whole Persona 5 series, Royale and Standard Edition. Starting with Tommy, how many units do you think it sold? Keeping in mind this game is about 6 or 7 years old.
Oh, I don't
It's
even know what
lifetime
the number
sales.
is. Oh, lifetime 7,000, 70,000.
No, lifetime.
Yeah, too high.
Oh, okay, high. Okay, 7 million.
Okay, Kojo.
2.1 million.
All right. So now using Persona 5 as a benchmark, remembering how everybody glazed the shit out of that game, 6 or 7 years, it sold 7.5 million.
Yeah, yes.
And that was high selling for Persona. Now let's go to Sonic Frontiers. That has been around for about 2-3 years. How many units do you think it sold, Kojo?
4 million.
Tommy?
Mm, mm, 5.2.
Both of you a good guess. 4.5 million. So for games with reasonable budgets, these would be excellent sales. If these games had ridiculous budgets, these would be poor sales. And if you compare them to other games or equivalents, then these numbers are not that great. Like Persona 5, for as much as it was raved and craved, 7.5 million. Final Fantasy does that in 1 week. And yes, I get that Final Fantasy is a bigger franchise. Final Fantasy has a bigger history. Final Fantasy has a bigger budget. And I think that's the problem with Final Fantasy, budget. Maybe Square needs to start reducing the budget.
Question.
If we think about, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Persona 5, the sales. Is it base Persona 5 or is it Persona 5 Royale included? Persona 5 Royale Deluxe?
Both versions.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you.
So, and then we've got Sonic Frontiers, which it's selling 4.5. Again, that's reasonable if the budget is low. If a budget is high, that's unreasonable. Because if we compare to more popular genres, if we look at Resident Evil's lifetime sale is like 13 million, 10 million, something like that. And I'm talking about maybe Resident Evil 7. And then if we go to fighting games like Tekken and whatnot, these are also like at 2 million, 1 million. So you can see that RPGs, especially Eastern RPGs or JRPGs, are going in the way of dinosaurs. I guess there's a fan base for it, but the fan base is not as big as it once used to be. JRPGs once upon a time dominated gaming, but not anymore. Hence why you see Square steering away from the traditional formula and trying many new different things to keep it relevant. And I think this ties back to a bigger picture of a lot of times we look at companies and we say, why the hell are they doing this? Why the hell are they doing that? Well, they have the numbers. At the end of the day, they're trying to make profit. So when you see a company diverting from something or cutting something, the simple conclusion is whatever it is wasn't making them the money they were wanting or needing. And hence, they had to take action. Yeah, and that's about it.
Well, goddamn. All right. But back on the Nintendo 2 thing and the reviews that it's been getting, it is actually kind of sad. It's sad, but yeah, because with how, okay, I wouldn't say cheap, geez, but it's still kind of cheaper than a PlayStation though. I was almost keen, dude. I was contemplating hard, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stick and get that PS5.
You see, here's my issue of why I lost interest in the Switch 2. I was also interested until I saw the price. And my issue with the price was a lot of people like, oh, the price is reasonable. I'm like, nah. For a PlayStation 4 level type of output, that's not reasonable. For a console where you're going to get the worst experience for third-party games, that's not reasonable. For something where your best experiences are going to be first-party games, that's not reasonable. And first-party games, how frequently are they going to be coming in? And then on top of that, it's like the jump from Switch 1 to Switch 2 is not that big of a jump, where again, it's not that reasonable. Where it's like, at this rate, I might as well just go for a Switch 1. Because there's really not much else on the Switch 2 which is pushing me in that direction. I've met a lot of people who I've asked them, like, so the Switch 2 is here, are you going to get it? They're like, I want to Switch, but not the 2. I'll rather go for 1. And I'm like, why? And they're like, I don't see any reason to go for the 2. And I think about it and I'm like, and these are not gaming people. These are like your average day person where, your average person, when something new pops up, they automatically go for the new thing because they assume it should be better. But so these are your everyday people who want to game, who are like, nah, the Switch 1 is fine. It's cheaper, and I don't see what's the improvement. So a lot of people are like, oh, the Switch 2 is going to have better sales. I don't think in the long run it will. I think right now it's the new shiny toy, and people are excited. But once that buzz calms down, the Switch 2 will sell, and the sales will be good, but the sales won't be anywhere near what the Switch 1 were. That's my prediction. It's kind of like, how we had the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 4. Personally, I think those have been Sony's 2 highlights, where Xbox highlight console has been the 360, and they've struggled to replicate that ever since. Nintendo, it's Switch 1 and would it be the Super Nintendo or the N64 maybe?
I would say N64.
So well.
I don't know. For me, at the time, it was like a household. GameCube. Yeah. Ooh. Actually, hold on. Wait. No, but also the Game Boy SP, bro, or the Game Boy Advance.
Oh no, but the handheld have always done well.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. I don't know.
It's also a market where they just buy themselves in it.
Yeah, fuck, I don't know.
But yeah.
No way. Thanks, man. Kojizi, you got any gaming news, bro?
Not this time, surprisingly.
Hey, neither do I. Alright. Moving on to the gaming corner. What releases have been coming out?
So let's start off with the first one, just a couple. So the first one is a game called I Am Your Beast, PS5, Xbox Series. I know, right? FPS game, June 25th. Currently sitting at a 79 on Metacritic. Then we have System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster, PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, June 26th, 2025. Currently sitting at an 81 on Metacritic. Next, we have Stasis, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, June 26th. Currently sitting at a 79 on Metacritic. It's a survival horror game. Then we have Front Mission 3 Remake, Nintendo Switch, turn-based tactics game, 26th of June, 2025. Currently sitting at a 63 on Metacritic. Next, we have a game called Against the Storm. It's a city builder roguelike, June 26, 2025, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. Currently sitting at a 91 on Metacritic. And finally, one of the big ones of the year. You guys know what that one is?
What?
One of the big releases of the year has just come out.
Oh, can't be GT.
I'm sure Maxwell knows.
Yes. It took me a while for it to click. Like, I was literally thinking, like, what the hell could this be? And then I was just like, oh yeah, shit. I've been seeing it everywhere. What am I thinking?
Enlighten Tommy.
Yeah, because your juice. Hello.
Hideo Kojima.
Who? Oh, okay. Yeah. Please don't say fucking
Tommy.
Please don't say it's the walking simulator, bro. Please.
It is.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Maxwell, you seen this? You said you've been seeing it everywhere. Do you know its Metacritic score?
Yes. If it's still at the same, I assume it's it's naturally fallen, but I don't know how much it's fallen by.
Let's ask Tommy first. Tommy, guess his Metacritic score.
84.
84? Okay, Maxwell, enlighten them again.
So the original score when it came out was 92. So I'm guessing with the amount of time, it's probably sitting at 90.
It is sitting at 90, yep.
Yeah.
So
And tell me, people are loving it.
Yeah,
I
general
don't get it.
consensus is it's a much better game than the first one.
I don't get it. What can you
And-
jog in this one?
You could jog in the first one too. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I will say this though. Gameplay aside, I haven't played the game, but visually speaking, this game is a visual masterpiece. Okay, let me not say masterpiece. It's a visual marvel, technical marvel. This game is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. It is jaw-droppingly good looking. Gameplay, I don't know. I haven't played the game, so I can't tell. But yeah,
I'm
that's
also
it for the
in the
releases.
side of Tommy of I don't get it.
Like,
I don't know. Maybe one day I'll play the first one and I'll be able to get it. We'll see.
oh, it's alright.
For me, I would just like to say I understand the improvement from 1 to 2. I get the improvement. But the fact that there's so much improvement makes me think even more that 1 was hella bare bone and people are just dick riding. So it makes me even more suspicious of 2.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. If the first game just, yeah, well, yeah, no, I think Dark Souls, I only played the first one after I had finished 2 and 3, but only because I needed to at least, I didn't care much of what the story would have been. And even after finishing Dark Souls 1, I was still like, wasting my time. But anyways, yeah. Y'all can find me in the comments, guys. Actually play the game. Like, really ask yourselves. Play the game, play Elden Ring and all that. Then really ask yourselves, Dark Souls 1, was it like, the fuck? Anyways. Max, do you got any gaming corner stuff?
No.
Alright. Yeah, I don't have either. That then brings us to the halfway section. If you guys are liking this so far, please do leave a like and subscribe. I love you forever. Moving on. So, content creator side. Now this one, they're not gamers, so to speak, but they are content creators in their own rights. Liver King and the Joe Rogan. Have you guys been watching?
Oh yeah, I woke up and I saw the news and I was like, "What is going on?" But anyway, yeah.
Of all the people to get intertwined in beef, bro.
Joe Rogan.
Yes, Max. So,
What is
do you know
Joe
who
Rogan
the Liver?
done now?
Not much.
Funny enough, it's not a Joe Rogan problem.
Yeah, it's really not. This Liver King guy is just, I don't know, he's delusional. So anyways,
But
you guys
then
obviously
Liver King
know
has always problems. So that's why I'm wondering, like, what does Joe Rogan have to do with this?
political stance, pretty much. Okay, so anyways, the Liver King was arrested on June 24th by the cops, obviously, because he had made a terroristic threat against Joe Rogan. Man was like putting out posts and videos, you know, saying shit like, wait, let me wait. Oh, I can only play the video. Okay, but anyways, yeah, in the videos, bro, like, man was tuning out Joe Rogan and basically saying like, wait, Kojo, what the flip did he say? Oh, I'm picking a fight with you. Some shit like, I don't have training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt, so you should dismantle me, but I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules, I'll come whenever you're ready. Mind you, this nigga's like 47, bro. Mind you. And this nigga, I don't know, man, like, I mean, he got debunked about eating that raw meat and bull testicles and all that type of shit. This nigga is so red, guy. Like, he's red AF. But anyways, let me not hate. So yeah, these are the things that he was saying on his videos. And then, yeah, eventually cops rained down on my nigga, dog. Like, it was crazy. So I guess don't pick a fight with Joe Rogan. I don't know. Maybe man took the threat too serious. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So he's going to be spending up to either 6 months in jail or pay a $2,000 fine. And we obviously know what route he's going to take. And then, yeah, Rogan has blasted him, you know, on misleading the audience due to the whole ancestral diet thing, basically, where it stemmed from. And Liver King never likes to be, I don't know, dissed about his choice of eating all this raw meat and bull testicles. Niggas just like balls, man. Can't hate. Anyways, moving on. Tim the Tat Measy is now concerned that Twitch is turning into an IRL stream dominated site instead of gaming for what it was once known. Now, this isn't something that that any content creator is saying for the first time. Many have been saying this. I think the moment IRL became a category on Twitch, it was the start of the end. Because some people we obviously know where Twitch came from, where it's been, and where it is now. It is sad, but it is what it is. But what I hate about this, right, and this is probably just a personal thing, this nigga is saying this while streaming on YouTube, which at the start wasn't a gaming site, and now there are more game videos that are just dominating on YouTube. Well, besides AI content. So it's just like, what are you trying to say, Tim? Like, the fuck? Like, dog, you're just doing the same thing on a different thing. Come on. I think Kick at the moment, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I gave Kick a chance. Like, it's actually kind of okay as a platform. It's not confusing. It's not like Mixer, but yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite nice. I just would like an actual stream platform though, where you can customize your own user interface. But anyways, I should probably create one. Had been pending. Anyways, yeah. So he was complaining about the whole Kai Cenat, iShowSpeed, Asmongold, all these people who just talk on their streams. Man wasn't feeling it. Such a shame. But anyways, we move. And that is pretty much it from my content side. Kojo, you got any content creator news?
Yes, I do. So the first one up is a pretty serious one. Serious, yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Mango situation.
Oh, I was gonna bring it up in esports because I figured,
Oh, you're right. It is esports.
No, it's technically both because Maya Higa, all them niggas and all this shit you mentioned. Go, it's fine. Tell the story.
Okay, yeah, but fill in the blanks for me if you can tell me.
Okay.
So there is a Super Smash Bros. Player, melee focused player, known as Mango. Real name is Joseph Marquez, but he goes by Mango. He is one of the figurehead, he's one of the most prominent figures in the Smash Melee community. However, he found himself in a bit of trouble. So what happened was, on the 21st, let me see if I can find the actual. Yes, on June the 21st, Ludwig was hosting an event called Mario Kart World Cup. It's basically a Mario Kart, but it's a drinking game. So he had a whole bunch of content creators there. Some of your favorites were there. And this is not the first time he's held his Mario Kart. He held one, I think, last year, and that one went off pretty fine. I didn't hear of any issues. But this one, yeah. So what happened was Mango was at the event, and he sort of harassed certain female streamers, most notably Emiru, not Emiru, sorry, most notably Extra Emily and Maya Higa. And this didn't go unnoticed. And the
question. Am I tripping, or did Tommy talk about this last week?
No,
this is new.
Very new.
Because I was under the assumption, then I'm tripping because I was under the assumption that this took place last week. Tommy spoke about it. Then the aftermath of the event happened this week.
No,
this happened on the 21st.
Yeah, dog. There's no ways.
21st was this past weekend.
Unless I spoke about it on the WhatsApp group.
Then I must be tripping because I genuinely thought Tommy spoke about Ludwig banning somebody, and then I saw the aftermath of the fallouts which you're about to go into of this, and I thought, oh, okay, when Tommy spoke about it, I thought it was not that big of a deal, but I guess it is a bigger deal than I thought. But I guess I must be high.
I'm sure you saw it somewhere on the internet.
Nah, my ones were your shit. What was it last week?
His was fluorescent.
No, yeah, last week I did. Yeah, last week I did Philly, and the League of Legends Women's Pro League.
Mm-hmm.
Kaisenot, Ice Poseidon, Streamer University, Asmon Gold, anti-competitive multi-stream.
Yeah.
Ninja also about the whole multi-streaming and AI multi-stream, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And the week before was fluorescent.
I confused.
Yeah.
I confused things then.
Nah,
Yeah.
all good.
All good. So where was I? Yeah. So it didn't go unnoticed. There was severe backlash, and the repercussions were swift. So in no particular order, but maybe let me just say what the things that happened. So first off, Ludwig banned him for all Ludwig's future events that he's going to hold. C9, the Cloud9, which is the team that Mango was on for 11 years, they let him go. Supernova, which is a Smash event, have banned him from the event this year. And the big one, Twitch, banned him. So he's been pretty much excommunicated for a while. And he put out a lengthy statement on Twitter, and basically he pretty much said what everybody knew, because people have known that he's had a drinking problem.
That's the worst part.
Yeah, it's been a thing in the Smash community that he had a drinking problem. But
he said Twitch banned him, Ludwig banned him, and what?
So Twitch banned him, Ludwig banned him from all his future events. Supernova, a Smash event, has banned him from the event this year. And C9, his esports team, which he was in for 11 years, dismissed him.
Okay, can I throw one in as well?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys know this better than I do, but something called Cloud9 dropped him.
Yeah, I said that. C9.
Yeah, C9.
Oh,
I said C9 and I said Cloud9.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Because I thought C9 was an event. I didn't realize. No, but you're right. C9, Cloud9. Yeah, my bad.
Nah, it's all good, man. You know esports. Look at you. Hey.
No, I don't. That's why I was adding it, because I was like, okay, these guys will tell me what it is. Because when I saw it, I was like, huh?
You're close.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, so pretty much his lengthy statement, he pretty much said, he accepts all the bans that have been placed on him. He accepts it wholeheartedly. He said he doesn't want anybody to defend his actions. He said he's been researching rehabs, and when he finds the right fit, he's going to go for it. And he said, he's going to be quiet from social media for a while, but next time you see him, hopefully he'll be better. And he said some certain things in it that were pretty deep, Let me just say this quote. So he said, and I quote, "When I talked to my mom about everything, I said I was glad my grandma wasn't around to see this. She passed away recently, and I hadn't said anything publicly. But saying that out loud to my mom just broke me. I started crying, and I don't think I've done that with her since I was a kid. What hit me hardest was realizing I never took my grandma to see the Pope like I always said I would. I kept putting it off to drink or go to events. And now I can't. That effing sucks. That regret is going to stay with me," end quote. And then he went on to say things like, every time he's hit a low in his life, he's always like, every time he's had every moment of his life that was bad, he sees that alcohol had a role to play. So he's pretty much said that, look, he's not, he's making zero excuses, but alcohol, he's saying he doesn't want it to be like, oh, I'm blaming alcohol, but he's like, clearly that's a problem and he's going to work on it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it from the event. Oh, one person said, Cody Schwab, who is a competitor, he came out and said that he wouldn't be going to any event where Mango was still allowed to compete. Yeah. Um, yeah,
Oh,
but he
there's
said,
one bounce back from that.
Dog, Justin Minks, dog, where's she at?
"Yo,
She on
Justin Minks
OnlyFans
is
now, bro.
weird, dude.
Like
Justin
she,
Minks just bounced."
yeah, because like, hey, dog, you can't come back
Like,
from that.
because I'm wondering about that. Because like on the one side, if you try and ignore everything, like in a doctor disrespect sort of way, it's like you can still have a career, but it's it's a far more diminished career, and the likelihood of in your diminished career, because you are achieving far less than you used to, you're probably going to lash out in the near future somewhere, which is going to even further diminish where you were. I mean, we can see this with these prank YouTubers and all these other social media people where when they're not really liked public figures, they think the best way to continue making money, staying in the public eye, is creating further controversy, and that just diminishes their power. Then on the other side of a coin, if you take responsibility, how do you grow back from that responsibility, especially if people ban you? Like if you self-exile yourself, like, okay, I'm going to do better, I'm going to do XYZ, I can get that. But then if people have proactively banned you from certain things, how do you recover from that? Even if you say I'll take responsibility for it, because I'm imagining that when the length of time passes or whatever, you're not going to have the same amount of sway that you used to, because people have moved on. When a gap pops up, there'll always be somebody ready and in the corner to fill that gap.
I suppose you switch it up, bro. Like Ray William Johnson. Man went from
His
doing.
he didn't disappear because of controversy.
No. He didn't. I'm not saying that, but like when the platforms just changed, my nigga's content just wasn't funny at some points, and then now he switched to telling news and murder mysteries and all this. I'm just like, okay, but you know what? Pop off.
I'm not hating. Get your money, do your content, but I'm like, yeah, dude, this is not what I watched you for. But hey, man, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, flipping. There was a time before, yeah.
But then there, I get where Kojo's coming from. Where it's like when he switched up, he still has like a fan base who haven't turned their back on him, who can follow him with his switch, where they can be like, okay, I get it, times are different. But then when you've upset people and they are now actively trying to ignore you, how do you gain back people's good favor? Obviously, there will always be a small portion of people who are going to be willing to go through with you, whatever you go through. Then there's another small portion who are happy to give you a second chance, but the majority of people will have moved on for one or another reason. How do you claw back that crowd? Do you guys have any examples or anyone in mind you can think of who bounced back from a controversy, not ignoring the controversy, but taking ownership and growing from that? I can't think of anyone. Most people I can think of who managed to stay relevant for the most part have been defiant of controversy.
I don't know. It's too soon to say Lupo, Doug, but
yeah. Although he's come back and he seems to be doing fine.
Dr.
But I'm sure there are examples.
I don't know.
But I'm not saying this is emblematic of the Smash community, but there was, I think it was 2020 where there was a whole rapture. Where
the Smash community is a problem, full stop. Now, I think it is. Like, that's the one community where I'm like, I would never want to get close to those people. If you tell me there's somebody in the Mortal Kombat community, Tekken community, Soul Calibur, all these other fighting game community, I'm like, okay, I'll be interested to check them out, stuff like that. You mentioned somebody in the Smash community, I already write them off. Like, nah, there's something probably deeply wrong with this individual.
Yeah, the Smash community.
I don't know what it is about Smash. There's something about Smash that just attracts the weirdest, most off people ever.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I don't know. I have to sit down and think, because I'm sure there's some on the tip of my tongue. But you're right. For the most part, people who have been out of such a thing and they've taken ownership and said they're going to do better, either never returned or Yeah. I'm trying to think of someone who actually came back and, tried to move on. Maybe Atrioc,
Who?
the AI guy.
Oh, wait.
Remember,
I'm thinking of the dude who like was watching his what?
fellow content creators, AI.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's that one. Yeah.
He's come back fine.
Nigga, where he at? But he's quiet.
He streams. I actually see his content on Twitter. He's back to normal.
Still wife and Alice.
He's back to normal. His wife is still with him. He's friends with Ludwig and Q-Teen again now. They seem to have moved past it. So that's the only example I can think of. But then again, he made steps to try and make things right.
Okay, well, good for him.
Yeah. So that's the only example I can think of, because he's doing fine for himself. He's actually doing very, very well for himself. His view counts have been the same, if not increased. His YouTube videos have seen huge views. So he's doing all right. But anyone else, yeah, Maxwell is right. I can't think of... It is hard to come back from such a thing. But
yeah, like the playbook seems to be just be defiant, where like, nah, stick to your guns and push through the controversy but the whole thing of something new will pop up next week, so just survive until the next somebody else's F up, and then people forget yours.
But the streets don't forget though.
Facts.
Like the thing, people will move on, but there will be like for example, we've moved on from Dr. Disrespect, but we ain't forgotten he was texting a minor. You see what I'm saying?
True. But then also, I feel like the level of the thing as well, and how you go about it, because if I got caught up in a controversy, I'll just be like, I'll address it once and then go on, and then when people will try to bring it up and stuff like that, I'll let them clown me. I'm not going to address it further, because if you address it, you give people energy of, okay, this is getting to him. But then if you say nothing about it, then people get tired. And then also, I feel like especially in the gaming side of things, I feel like people are kind of like pseudo celebrities or smaller or baby celebrities. So if I look at the celebrity playbook, when celebrities screw up, they just need to release a banger of something. If you're an actor, release a banger movie. If you're a musician, release a banger album. If you're an athlete, have a banger performance in your next match. So as a gamer, a content creator, release a banger content where people will forget what you've done. Like, if I use a good example I can think of somebody who's been ignoring the controversies to the best of his abilities, and it has still impacted him, but not as badly, Mr. Beast.
Oh, I fucking knew you were going to say that.
I've been looking at his YouTube numbers before and after the controversy. Before the controversy, this guy was making 100 million plus views, sometimes hitting 200 million and over. Mm-hmm. Ever since the controversy, he's yet to have a video which has touched 200.
Yeah.
And I looked at the history where he used to have 200, 300, 400, 500, 200, 200, 200. And granted, maybe part of it was it being during COVID period where people were watching more, possibly. But ever since that controversy, he's had maybe 2 videos which have hit in the hundreds, and everything else have been sub 100, which is not normal for him, which I think shows that his powers are waning. And I think that's part of a reason why he's been, oh shit, is anyone going to talk about the Mr. Beast thing?
Nope.
Oh, I forgot the AI thing.
Yeah. So I guess we could we can go into that here. Yeah, it's a post or appropriate, whatever the correct term is. Yeah, so linking into it, I guess that's why Mr. Beast is now making other movements into other business decisions and stuff like that, because he's beginning to see the end of his YouTube power, where it's not the same anymore. So now he has to be making new business ventures, and we have this AI situation where he wanted to create a company which gives people an AI that creates thumbnails for your YouTube videos, and there was a lot of controversy over that, where he used different people's logos and stuff like that, and people were not happy about it. And he quickly deleted his tweet, I believe, announcing it. And people were like, okay, yeah, clearly you realized you were in the wrong, and so you've scrubbed it away. And then there's that controversy of him making that AI company, where I don't think the company is going to do that well. Then there's also the controversy from his new video where he paid a friend X amount of money. Was it 250,000 to lose 100 pounds in like a year or something like that?
Yeah, I didn't know it was a friend. I thought it was just some random guy.
Oh no, it's a friend. He tried to make it look like it's a random guy, but then people pointed out like, no, he actually knows that person. I'm like, wow, this nigga just gets by giving people money that he knows.
Where it's like saying this.
No, we know it's been happening. And there was also that whole dude who had the expose pointing out that it's never random, it's always friends. And it's just like Donald is not beating the controversies, he's just adding to it. And then also the animation stuff and all of that stuff. So with this video, for those who are not in the know, the controversy is that the person who's trying to lose weight in the video had a very, very close friend pass away during. So, okay, let me establish the setting of the video. So this guy is living inside a gym, and he's not allowed to leave the gym until he loses 100 pounds. If he leaves the gym without losing 100 pounds, he fails the challenge. But otherwise, if he manages to lose 100 pounds, I think, is it in 1 year? I don't know. I remember if it was a time scale. But if he loses 100 pounds, he gets to win 250,000. So during his time trying to lose the weight, he had one very good friend who's like a coach to him, who would be visiting him, giving him inspiration, motivating him across this different stuff. Then one of the producers came to visit him to tell him that that friend of his who had been visiting him had passed away. I don't know what the situation was. Apparently he was found dead in his own apartment. I don't know if he took his own life or something happened. But then this guy basically had a breakdown hearing the news and all of that stuff. And people were upset with Mr. Beast because Mr. Beast recorded all of it, showed everything, was putting music over it and using it kind of like, to get people to watch the video, where it's just like, you're showing somebody during their moment of grief. And I also feel like it was in poor taste, where they could have sliced it up, cut out parts, give the news, and then give the guy his privacy, where they're not going to show the bits of him grieving and all of that stuff. I think that was in poor taste, showing all of that. I feel like they should have just shown the bit where he's given the news, cut it out, cut his grieving process out, speak about it with a voiceover, but don't show bits. And then maybe after the fact, talk to him about how he felt during all that period, but don't show the grieving process. Like, damn, how desperate are you to get views that you're showing the raw footage of somebody getting news of a close person or a friend passing away, and then here you are putting sad music on top of it, trying to use it as a plot point to your story of, oh, this got him motivated, blah blah blah. It is such poor taste. And it's stuff like that where I'm like, nah, Mr. Beast needs to fall. Like, this guy is so overly focused on views, success, that he kind of gives me like a baby Zuckerberg. Yeah, in the sense that you've got Zuckerberg, who is so focused on Facebook that he doesn't care who he burns, just so long as Facebook is a success, to the point that Facebook is his personality. Mr. Beast is a similar thing of his YouTube channel, his content is his personality. Beyond that, there's nothing more than a husk of a shell.
Deep.
It's a bar.
That's a bar, dude.
Oh,
yeah. That's Mr. Beast, his AI company controversy, and his video controversy.
Yeah, I only saw the ending of the video where the guy, like to his credit, the guy lost a shit ton of weight, not gonna lie. But
he did.
Healthily though?
Yeah.
Not convincing.
reasonably healthy.
Yeah.
What, did he have a year to lose it or something like that?
No, I thought it was. Isn't it 100 days?
Damn.
Oh, was it 100? Okay, so it's a typical 100
Let
days. Okay,
let me make sure I'm doing my due diligence.
Yeah, because I don't think Mr. Beast has time to record one person
Hey,
or like do progress
200.
updates.
you'd be
I think.
So close. Okay.
you'd be surprised. You can have one thing going on as you focus on something else.
I suppose, but like movie celebs, maybe if the movie, if their personal
It's a
trainer.
year. They said, sorry to jump. He said if he loses 100 pounds in the next year. So yeah. Okay.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Sorry, Tommy.
Man,
Sorry
that time. No stress, because then it's amazing. God damn. All right. All right. I don't have any esports because I was gonna do the manga one.
I'm done with content creating.
I don't think Max has any more other than Mr. Beast. No.
No, me. I'm not done.
Nope.
Oh shit, my bad. What you got for us, Coach?
Yeah. So one more thing. So this, like Tammy's Liver King, is not really. They don't really do games, but they are content creators. So I'm not sure if you guys know. First of all, I'm not sure if you guys know who Ethan Klein is.
Of course.
Maxwell.
That sounds familiar.
So he's on the
Max.
H3 channel, H3 podcast, or H3, however you want to pronounce it.
H3. What the hell is H3?
I'm sure if you see his name, his face, you'll recognize him.
Actually, it's a good thing Max doesn't know.
Probably the place.
Yeah. So basically, without going too much into his backstory, he's a podcaster. He does YouTube channels with his wife, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he made a video called Content Nuke on Hassan, where he pretty much, I didn't watch the video, it was like an hour and 40 minutes.
He did another one.
No, I knew. No, this is the main one, the first one.
Oh, okay.
The only one he did on Hassan, where he was pretty much just putting Hassan on blast for the things Hassan has said and done, whatever. Especially because of this whole Palestine-Israel type of thing, whatever. And some content creators reacted to that video, and some did it in bad faith. So Ethan said he released a video titled, "I'm suing these 3 creators." He released a video over the past week, and in the video he showed a bunch of people who reacted to the video. He showed XQC, he showed Asmongold, he showed a bunch of people, but he said, you know what, I'm not suing those 2, I'm suing these other 3. And he said that they met a specific criteria. They met a criteria of they willingly and knowingly reacted to his video in bad faith and tried to siphon money away from his views, they did it maliciously.
Wait.
And
how were they acting in bad faith? Like, what did they do differently from other people?
so what he said was what he said, and I'm probably dumbing it down, but what happened was, so when you upload a video on YouTube, Max, so like you get money from the video, right? Like obviously.
Yep.
And then when someone reacts to your video, you don't get that money from that react unless the person says, "Oh, go watch the original video," whatever. However, these 3 creators, whose names are Casey Tron, Denims, and Frogan, they have a hate boner for Ethan, like huge hate boner for Ethan, especially Denims and Frogan. So what they did was, they said it in their videos, they were like, "Okay, guys, if you don't want to give money to Ethan Klein by watching his video, watch me react to his video. That way he doesn't get the money." Does that make sense? Yeah. That's pretty much what they said. They were like, a lot of people want to watch this video without supporting Ethan Klein, so just watch my reactions. And their reactions were not transformative. Majority of the time, they just sat there and just looked at the video. Sometimes they got up to leave. One of them, Casey Tron.
Yeah. I can see the dude winning a lawsuit over that. I can very well see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. Casey Tron is the worst. She was in my opinion, the worst offender, because she is known for smoking on stream, whatever. So they did an experiment where they went on her VOD to see the ratio of her talking versus her smoking. And she smoked 3 minutes 15 seconds more than she spoke. So she smoked more than she actually said anything. And every time she spoke, she was like, I don't understand what's happening. And Ethan was like, mainly because you're high, But yeah, and all three of them have actually launched GoFundMe's to raise money for their legal funds.
I shouldn't laugh, but no, I shouldn't laugh. Let me not laugh.
No, like I actually want people to go watch the video. I'm suing these two creators. It's hilarious. Like he breaks it down, well. And then people have called him out like, "Oh, you're only suing women." And he was like, "No, I explained in my video why." And even some ordinary gamers I saw on Twitter someone also says him. Some ordinary gamers was like, he explained in his video specifically why he's targeting those three. And because he saw that Asmongold didn't do it maliciously, SPC didn't react maliciously, and the other people who reacted to this video did not react maliciously. It was only those three. And yeah, it was a very funny video. I'm not gonna lie. I liked that video. I don't watch a lot of Ethan Klein, not anything against him. I just don't really watch his stuff. But and this is not the first time Ethan has won a lawsuit. Ethan has won a lawsuit before. I think it was fair use copyright lawsuit, and he won. So he might win this one again. Who knows?
Why does that name sound so familiar?
Google his face. Maybe you'll see. Maybe you'll know who he is.
Yeah, let me Google that. But you talking about Hassan has actually reminded me about another story where maybe you guys have heard of it and you can speak to it, because I've only touched upon it where I tried to deep dive more into it, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not interested enough to try and understand what's going on here. But it's about pirate software and some controversy with some company or something where they're fighting and they're arguing.
No, it's so dumb. So long story short.
Oh shit. Okay, Code, you're right. I do know his face. I just never knew his name.
Yeah, I told you, Yeah. So, yeah, he's speaking on the Ethan part. I low key, not low key. Like I don't have a horse in this race, but I'm genuinely curious to see what's going to happen. And Asmongold was like, in his reaction, I don't really watch Asmongold much anymore, but I wanted to see his reaction to it. And he was like, Asmongold was like, please, Ethan, please stream this so I can react to it. And I was like, hey, if he streams it, I'll watch it. Hey, man, they're not showing the Diddy trial, so fuck. I need.
Oh my god, you just had to bring that.
I had to. Hey. But anyway, yeah. So Pirate Software, going back to the Pirate Software issue, it's this is off the top of my head. So Pirate Software is a content creator, game developer as well. He has his indie game called Heartbound, which people say is an Undertale clone, whatever. He's gotten into a bunch of controversies before in the past. The main one being the World of Warcraft one. Tammy, I think you know that one.
Of course, but also just to add, he was a literal World of Warcraft developer.
Yeah. He worked at Blizzard. He worked on World of Warcraft and a bunch of things.
Yeah, where his content started making a lot of money was when everything was going down at Blizzard with that boss who touched women and all that ish and whatnot.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Since he was pretty much an insider, that man was making racks and views, just spilling it out, because by then he was already laid off.
Yeah.
So then he had a lot to say. Yes.
Yeah, because I knew he worked in Blizzard, but I completely forgot about that controversy. And yes, if you're saying he was there during that period and then left before it blew up, then yeah, it would make sense, because this guy popped out of nowhere for me. But if you're saying that that's what put him on the map, it would make sense.
Yeah. No, he's been there for a while. He was even nominated for Streamer of the Year at the Streamer Awards, but yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, without getting distracted from the main story you're about to give, Kojo, for me, I'm not a big fan of it, because I'm not really a big fan of him because he comes off as arrogant and conceited.
That's what everyone says.
What I'm going to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've noticed that some other people have also mentioned that. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees it, because I used to watch some of his. I would see like his YouTube shorts, and he would say some insightful stuff, and I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's on about. Then I started seeing more, and I'm like, this guy really comes off across as I know better. You don't really know as much, and he would rubbish other people's comments or opinions, and I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. So there's this movement that this was like some months ago, like 10 months ago or something like that, where this guy called Ross created this whole campaign called Stop Killing Games. And this was off the heels of the whole Ubisoft and the Crew situation. Remember when Ubisoft took off the Crew and removed it from everybody's library? Yeah. So this was off the heels of that. Pardon?
Said I remember that.
Yeah, so this was off the heels of that. So the whole Stop Killing Games movement was about, it was basically about, holding developers accountable and not letting them, how do I put it? Basically, it was just a way of, it was a campaign, he wanted signatures to get it to Congress or to get it to, to make the government aware of this, US government or the EU government, aware of this. So this whole thing was, of just, they just want, if you buy a game, it should be yours, and if there's a single player, pardon?
Ownership.
Yes, ownership. And if there's a single player component to that game, but it's always required online, but there's a single player component, then they should make it so that you can play the single player part offline. If that makes sense. I think that's what they were getting from. Now, Pirate Software, 10 months ago, talked about it on stream, trashing the whole thing. Because he completely misrepresented and misunderstood everything that the whole movement was trying to do. And then he made another video, which gained some millions of views, where he went in depth of why he's trashing it. And he had some choice words. He called Ross a used car salesman. He said that the whole movement was S-word shit. He said it was trash. He said, he pretty much, Moist Critical has done 2 videos recently explaining more in depth. You guys can go watch those ones for more, because I'm just rambling about nonsense. But so pretty much people have been calling Pirate Software out for saying, look, you're an asshole to Ross. He did nothing to you, but you were going after him personally and whatever. 2, you completely misunderstood and misrepresented everything that this movement was trying to do, and you probably brought even more harm to it. You did more harm than good, because now people saw your videos and decided not to go sign the petitions or sign the thing to get it in front of Congress or whatever. So, and in Reddit, people have been trashing him on Reddit. People are like, yeah, he's a narcissist, he's this, he's that. He's even, like you said, Maxwell, about how he's said some insightful stuff. People have been like, on Reddit, people have been like, all he says is just stuff that people already know, but he just says it in a, he zhuzhes it up a bit, if that makes sense. Like he adds some flair to it. And, it's like people already know this stuff, but it's surface level what he's saying. And then people have also, after the whole World of Warcraft, roach out thing, where he failed to claim responsibility, people realized that, no, this guy's been developing a game since 2018. That game has been in early access since 2018. And we're in 2025 now. And on stream, he codes. And people are like, okay, he's probably coding for his game. But it's been years, and that game is still been in early access. Like, what's going on with this game? It's for sale, you can buy it, but it's unfinished, it's early access. So people, this is a side note, but so people went online and were leaving negative reviews about that. But basically, people are now coming wise to Pirate Software and how he, like Maxwell said, he's a narcissist. He has this whole "I know better than you, I'm smarter than you." I worked at Blizzard, rah rah rah, type of thing. I'm a game developer. I know about game development and the games industry. I've published a game, so I know about the inner workings of games and stuff like that. So a lot of people are now being like, this guy is an asshole. And they're seeing him for who he comes across as. Tommy, in the previous episode, spoke about the whole Dr. K thing.
Dude.
Yeah. Where Dr. K also was calling him out on his nonsense. So yeah, that's pretty much the Pirate Software and the Stop Killing Games movement off the top of my head. The Stop Killing Games movement looks like it's dying down, unfortunately. And some people accredit the reason to its failure to Pirate Software and what Pirate Software has said and done. And Pirate Software has gone on Twitter to say a bunch of things like, "Oh, people are blaming me for this thing," and he was doubling down, saying it wasn't my fault. The campaign was bad to begin with. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's where we are now. And Ross, the guy who was behind the whole Stop Killing Games movement, he didn't come out after Pirate Software, said all these things about him in the movement. He didn't come out and talk about it because he didn't want the movement to be about drama. He just wanted the focus to be on games, so he didn't really come out. But after a while, he came out and he was watching what Pirate Software said, and he was like face palming because he was like, Pirate Software is completely misunderstanding and misrepresenting everything I'm saying, or everything the movement is. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist. Sorry for rambling. Lol.
Yeah,
No,
now
listen.
I'm up to date with what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I saw Penguin Z0 talking about a bit of it, and then also other people mentioning it, and I was just like, Pirate Software, isn't it that guy who has those shorts who talks about things about it in the gaming sector, stuff like that? So yeah. Nah, I'm definitely not a fan. There's somebody else, I forgot who it is, who I should do my research and find out what their name is and advertise them. But there's another person who makes games, who shows the progress of their games and talks about the development process to it and what they do and try to educate the fan base on the process of their game. That's a channel worth following. I'll see if I can find out who they are and maybe advertise them next episode.
Yeah, speaking of that one, I'm just bouncing off what Maxwell said. I actually found one recently. A guy, his name is Thomas Brush. He's working on his third game, and he has a big publisher. He's working on his third game. If you look at it, you can be like, "Oh, this is clearly BioShock inspired." But I like Thomas because, one, he's published 2 games that are finished. You can go buy them. And he's working on his third one, which maybe will come out this year or next year, but there's a publisher, so 3D Realms, which is a known publisher, so that game will definitely come out. It's not going to be in limbo hell like Pirate Software's game. And then the reason why I like Thomas is because he also interviews people who have made games, and he talks about game development and all of that stuff. So I watched those interviews because he's interviewed Ken Levine from BioShock, and that was the first interview I watched, and I'm like, damn, this guy knows his stuff. Like, he's a very good game developer. So yeah, Maxwell, I want to know who that guy is you're talking about. So go find out.
Yeah, I should be able to find him because I made a comment on one of his videos because he would make shorts and then he would be asking like his audience like, hey, usually when making games you have these type of problems. Do you have any ideas how to overcome them, or what would be your solution? And then he provides his solution, and then he also talks about other methods of doing things. And I made a comment on one of his videos where he replied to. So if I go to my history of comments, it should be somewhere buried there.
Look at you. But yeah, that's it for the Pirate Software stuff from my side.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. Max, any more from you, bro?
Nah, just those 2.
Yeah, I don't have much either. Koji, you got any esports?
Yeah, just a few things.
I don't have any. Go for it, bro.
So the Valorant Masters in Toronto recently wrapped up. it is the second international competition in the 2025 Valorant Champions Tour, and it won. And the winners were Paper X, Pacific's Paper X, and so congratulations to them. And then the Counter-Strike CS Major Austin, the Blast TV Austin Major 2025 championships took place in Austin, Texas, I believe, America. And Team Vitality won, beating out the Mongols. So congratulations to Team Vitality, and congratulations to Mongols. They went far. They did so well. I'm not really a CS guy, but from what I could gather, Mongols were the underdogs going into the tournament, and for them to make it to the finals was a huge thing. There was even a video on Twitter where there were a bunch of people sitting outside at 4:00 in the morning watching in Mongolia watching the CS tournament on like a big screen. Like a lot of people. 4:00 in the morning watching this tournament. Bro. Dude, the CS has a huge, I know CS is a huge game, right? And it's a huge esport. But the crowd, dude, what?
Dude, I'm just as shocked with Dota. You don't hear about the Dota stuff much, but yes,
Dota used to be the king of esports because they used to have huge prize pools, but then they cut the prize pools and now I think League is the reigning esports in my opinion.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but anyway, that's it for my sports.
Aware. Max, do you have any esports, bro?
No.
Aware. Yeah, like I said, I don't have anything. Which then that brings us to the very end of this episode. Guys, this was a very insightful one. Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure you like and subscribe so that you can have more deep dives of conversations of what's going on in the gaming world. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we'll check you all on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening in, and peace out.